And the growth has been immense here in WOR as we're getting ready for 5 red lights here in Miami. Thomas Ronhard with a drive-through penalty for jumping the start, but now off we go, getting ready for the start of this Grand Prix. Otis Lawrence leading the way in towards turn number 1 on a set of the hard compound tires. I believe most of the grid
loses the position to his Van Pookie. Declan Barrett not having the side he would have wanted at one point. Looking at P4, now he's then to P8, fight with Luke Smith for P9.
Side by side, but this Van Pookie in towards this very tight second sector. They're both going to run wide off the exit. Now Luke Smith looking to find an opportunity that's going to pack up the rest of the field than you would expect. Now look at Jed Norgrove once again going for it on Declan Barrett. Has the Alfa Romeo, has he got some wing damage or something? Because this is an unheard ofly poor start, because now he started in 8th all the way, in 5th all the way now down into 12th. Has he gone wide through the first corner? Indeed he has. In contention. If it stays like this, even if they finish 2nd and 3rd, Jarno Opmeer, no matter where he finishes, will be winning this championship. So we'll see how that works out. Jarno Opmeer, speaking of the devil, he's going for the move, potentially on Luke Smith, who's attacking now. It's Van Pookie around the outside. Will the Dutchman try and capitalise on this opportunity? We'll have to wait and see as now they file their way on towards lap number 5 of this Grand Prix. The Dutchman along the outside of both this Van Pookie and Luke Smith, 3 wide, heading in towards turn number 1. Who's going to come out on top? I believe that it is Jarno Opmeer. Indeed it is. The Flying Dutchman, the 2-time F1 Esports champion, is now Yannick Schmitz had a spin down at turn 1. Absolutely dead.
Oh, VSC.
Huh?
Will Lewis, maybe? Oh, what's happened? Oh, what's happened here? Oh, they're all entering the pit lane. What? Oh, this is...
Wing?
Who?
Will doesn't have a front wing.
What? Oh. Well, I just saw... that's weird.
I'm dumbfounded. Oh, we looked away for a second, Nathan, honestly. Will Lewis retires in the pit lane. A massive loss to this Grand Prix, unfortunately. AlphaTauri have swapped positions.
Yeah, those tires have died instantly, it seems like. They went from being perfectly fine to all of a sudden, big drop-off, and he's now down to 7th. Even looking at possibly losing the position to his Van Pookie as well, as that was Jarno Opmeer getting ahead of Yannick Schmidt. Obviously, Jarno was one of those to pit, along with Luke Smith and Tamas Gal, onto a new set of mediums. So they are really going for the gamble, aren't they, in this race?
He's leading this Grand Prix.
Yeah, big shame there for Declan Barrett with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That was down, I believe, at that uphill chicane section. So big shame for him. It's just not gone his way at all for Declan. He's had some great pace, but outside things have just, yeah, it's not worked at all for him. But that's the battle. We've got Duncan Hoffland right on the back of Shinaka Clay. So British also ahead of Protionado. Jarno Opmeer ahead of his Van Pookie's dropped down again. Has he made a mistake again? No, he's not. He's just lost positions down that back straight.
They're not going to last forever, though. They're already 5 laps old, and they've still got to go a very long way in this Grand Prix. So it was a very early stop for both Luke Smith and Jarno Opmeer, as now Fabrizio Donoso gets through on Yoni Tormula for P10. Jarno Opmeer through on his former Mercedes teammate, Danny Moreno, down in to 14th. Here he goes. Oh, whoa, Philip Presneder almost completely stopped on circuit there. Jarno Opmeer, lightning quick reactions. Had to get out of the way there. I just went on board with the Dutchman, and then I see an Alpine essentially stopped in the way. Jarno Opmeer, he was like a cat there. Continues on now. The move for the lead of the Grand Prix. Oh dear, Duncan Hoffland's gone for a spin. What is happening now? Duncan Hoffland has gone up the inside of Otis Lawrence. He's gone for a spin, and he's losing a number of positions now. More drivers going off track. I believe that's Yoni Tormula finally coming into the pit lane here.
Got damage there, or his tyres are a little bit warm from that spin. But yeah, lots of changes throughout the grid. Luke Smith looking to get himself ahead now of Lucas Blakely in towards turn 17. He's got the inside line. Lucas hasn't got much to fight with those tyres. Brakes later. Has he got the move? Lucas, he's going to try and hold it as Jarno Opmeer goes for a send. Nearly makes contact with Lucas Blakely after overtaking Fabrizio Donoso in towards turn 17. They come through ahead of Nicholas Longa, and then the championship leader, the 3 of them all together, 7, 8 and 9.
Well, if it stays like this, Jarno Opmeer is winning the WOR Season 15 Championship. Is now in towards turn number 11. They really don't want to fight at this point in the Grand Prix. Never mind, Jarno Opmeer up the inside. There is a move on Lucas Blakely. A very late lunge up the inside for Jarno Opmeer. He wants to get the most out of these medium tyres before... Once again, as he gets by on Shanaka Clay, and Luke Smith's been able to get by on Declan Barrett. Nathan, there's 3 overtakes on 3 separate parts of the circuit. It's so hard for us to follow here.
It's as Jarno Opmeer sends on Nicholas Longa towards turn 1, puts himself into P7 ahead now of the 2 championship protagonists who at this point aren't going to win. So Jarno will edge still with all these different tyre compounds making an appearance. Jarno Opmeer up the inside of Declan Barrett to put himself into pieces. Could he also get himself ahead of maybe Jed and Luke as they head down to turn 11? Jarno Opmeer, great straight line speed up the inside of Jed Norgrove. And will he go for Luke? No, he can't. He's a little bit too further back. to get himself ahead of the Alpine, but he does put himself into the top 5 and now right behind Luke Smith. I've actually said the 2-stop for many drivers is the way to go, as now Luke Smith up the inside of Valentine Bruffair in towards turns 7 and 8, gets himself a nice position there, and now Jarno Opmeer gets an advantage of Valentine's bad exit. He'll be looking to put himself into P4 in this race. It's like watching the two Mercedes earlier on charge through the field to try and put themselves into the line for victory, and now Jarno might even get himself ahead of Luke Smith as they head into turn 11. It's the outside line there for the Mercedes of Jarno Opmeer, gets himself around the outside, breaks, nearly takes out Schumacher Clay into turn 11. That was a close call between the Mercedes and the Williams as they head through, and Luke Smith just about to put himself back ahead.
Well, to Jed Norgrove taking these medium tyres, 15 laps so far in this Grand Prix. When are we expecting pit stops to come out? There's Otis Lawrence coming into the pits. There's Luke Smith as well. So it's the 2-stop for Luke Smith. I believe Nicholas Longate in behind is also coming into box. So not want to give him any space whatsoever, as now Otis Lawrence goes through on Thomas Ronvar, Schumacher Clay, Valentine Bruffair, Jed Norgrove. They're all deciding to come into the pit lane. Jarno Opmeer though staying out an extra lap at least. So is Lucas Blakely, Philip Presnader and Danny Moreno. So it's Van Pookie. Really, there's no point fighting this one out.
No, there's not. It's Nicholas Longate now into P7. As Jarno Opmeer, the race leader, now pits onto probably a set of soft tyres. Jarno has got a lot of work to do in this race. He has got 8 laps to push, and he's got to do qualifying laps. That's what he's got to do now at this stage of the race. And he goes, oh no, he goes on to mediums. Okay, so he must have not had enough softs left to compete, or he doesn't think the softs will be good enough to make the end. So interesting there from Jarno, but we'll see what happens.
I don't think he is getting swallowed up by the pack at the minute. He has to pit at some point, as now Fabrizio Donoso looking for the move on Yoni Tormola. Schumacher Clay scrapping it out with Declan Barrett as well. It's overtakes everywhere along here. There's Lucas Blakely up the inside of both Valentine Bruffair and now Yoni Tormola. But the ERS situation for both of these guys, they've got plenty of it. So I think it's going to be a big ask for Piot to hold on to these positions. But if he finds himself in a DRS train, maybe, Nathan, really unfortunate to see, but nevertheless he'll keep on trucking. I mean, he's done well. He's coped brilliantly so far this evening, but now Danny Moreno is all over the back of him. His apologies. I keep pressing the escape key on my keyboard, but yeah, Lucas Blakely up ahead, gets the move done on Fabrizio Donoso.
Just yet, and a little bit further down, look at this. Fabrizio Donoso causing a bit of a train, because you've got Isan Puka sitting behind, then you've got Valentine Bruffair. Jarno Opmeer looking for a move and puts himself ahead now into the top 10. Jarno Opmeer into the points, and then looking to also put himself ahead of Isan Puka. Great there from Jarno Opmeer into the top 9 now also. Could he even get Fabrizio Donoso? He goes, no, he sits back, he doesn't send it there. And Lucas Blakely ahead of Declan Barrett into turn 11 now. Lucas on the back of Nicholas Longate, 1.4 seconds between Nicholas and Schumacher Clay, so should be an easy move there with DRS for Lucas Blakely as they all hop through this middle sector on that uphill chicane. Very good jobs so far from Nicholas and Lucas. Obviously in the top 5 and 6, and they've started down in the bottom 5. Lucas got the DRS as they head down towards turn 17, and look back at the front, because I think he's going to be fighting for a lead. No, there's not. They all sit back.
Luke Smith, he doesn't want to go for the move just yet, and that's going to allow for everyone else in behind to catch up potentially. I think still you've got to look at Lucas Blakely, Nicholas Longate with slightly fresher tyres. They go almost side by side through that first sector, and I think, Nathan, it shows incredible growth from Otis Lawrence. He is hunting the win of this Grand Prix. Jarno Opmeer is now up into P7 if he finishes P6 in this Grand Prix, regardless of where oh dear, Thomas Ronhart is retired in the pit lane. Nevertheless, we'll continue along. If Jarno Opmeer finishes in a P6, regardless of where everyone else is, he will win the championship. There's the move up into P6. Jarno Opmeer with 5 laps to go at the end of this race. Nathan, don't count him out. Move there, caught Schumacher ever so slightly out there, but luckily Lucas Blakely didn't go, there wasn't contact between the pair of them, and they've still been able to hold on. Now look at Jarno Opmeer all over the back of Schumacher Clay. Let's have a look at the ERS situations. Jarno Opmeer with 44%. He's going to go up the inside at the end of the first sector. Will he make that move stick? Indeed he will. Jarno Opmeer, what an opportunistic move that he just made on Schumacher Clay there. He's broken into the top 5 now. Let's have a look at Lucas Blakely trying to make the move now on Piotr Stahelec for P3. This is for a podium position in this Grand Prix. Piotr, he's holding on with the DRS in hand, but now here comes Lucas Blakely up the inside with no battery whatsoever. He'll go up the inside, make that move stick. Piotr Stahelec's really just going to lose a number of places, because here comes Jarno Opmeer around the outside at the end of the second sector. Will he make the move stick into the chicane? Indeed he will. The Dutchman into P4. If you haven't already, please do make sure you subscribe to the WOR YouTube channel. We are so close to 17,000 subscribers, and you can watch even more action like this week in, week out. Here comes Jarno Opmeer onto the podium. He'll get the move done on Lucas Blakely, who has no battery whatsoever, is now in towards the final 2 corners. Jarno Opmeer, he's not done there. He's bloodthirsty at the minute, trying to make the move stick on Luke Smith. Lucas Blakely following in behind, but it's not going to be enough, as now Jarno Opmeer onto the podium. Nathan, 1 to go here.
Yep, final lap to go, and you can see that Jarno was looking for him maybe on Luke Smith. Can't do it yet. He has to back out. He's got 4 lap newer tyres than these top 2. Any of these 4 could come out with it. Lucas Blakely sitting in behind. He's not out of it yet, because if any of these make a mistake, it's time for Lucas to try and capitalise off that as we come through. They're all separated by 2 or 3 tenths of a second with each other as they head through. That's an incident there for, I think, Duncan Hoffland down at that the final setup. But we look now, eyes on Jarno Opmeer, looking to get himself ahead of Luke Smith. He's got a little bit of battery in the tank to use as they head down. And look at this straight line speed here from Jarno Opmeer, looking to head down in towards turn 11 and put himself ahead of both of them as they come down. Luke's looking for a move. Jarno's also looking for a move on the final lap of the race into the final few corners. You can see 3 wide in towards turn 11. Who's going to make it work? They're all going to push each other through, and I think Jarno's going to take the yes he has.
Jarno Opmeer leading the race now. Now Luke Smith trying to fight it back up the inside. Indeed, he will make that move stick now, heading into the final sector for the final time in this incredible Miami Grand Prix. Jarno Opmeer, the advantage will swing back to him with the DRS though. Luke Smith going to defend with everything towards the inside. These are the 2 that pitted onto the medium tyres earlier on in the race. Jarno Opmeer, you can see he's blinking. He's got no battery whatsoever. He'll sell the dummy and go up the inside of Luke Smith on the final corner. Jarno Opmeer hasn't led a race this race, but off the exit of the final corner, Jarno Opmeer, history is made here in WOR. He is the first time 2-time PC Tier 1 champion. Jarno Opmeer has done it in style after starting P13. He makes the move on the final lap at the final braking zone ahead of Otis Lawrence. Luke Smith relegated to 3rd. Nathan, we've got a new champion.